Warhammer 40,000 is very expensive, and starting your army could cost hundreds of pounds. So in today's video, I decided to give you a tutorial about how to best cut down the cost of buying your army, particularly for Death Guard, although these tips will work for any army because it is very expensive. So there are lots of easy methods where you can buy Warhammer 40,000 for quite a bit cheaper. Now, first of all, many of you know that there are lots of third-party retailers which have a deal with Games Workshop and are able to sell the miniatures for a 20% lower cost. Now, the most common of these is called Element Games. If you look, it is a trustworthy website, and it will get roughly 20% off on all the different models. For example, the Codex, usually £25, now £21. And you get the point. Poxwalkers, £10 to £8. And in general, it is basically a very good website. However, what many don't know is that the best of all these websites is a website called Darksphere. I know many people that often use this to buy their miniatures. You are still supporting Games Workshop when you are using these as well, because they buy it from Games Workshop at a cheaper price than you are, and then we'll be able to sell it to you at a cheaper price. So Darksphere is the cheapest, so that's www.darksphere.co.uk. I will put that in the description. I highly recommend that for buying your Warhammer miniatures. You're going to save quite a bit of money in the long run. It won't be quite as expensive to start up your army. Now, in addition, if you want to, you have to be mindful as to what units you buy, and of course, although you don't want money to get in the way and you do want to buy the best units and the units that you do want, it is best to try and avoid certain units. I think, for example, the Chaos Spawn is a good example, as although you might want it in some occasions, you're paying about £1 for 2 points, £23, and for 2 miniatures, which are 46 points in a competitive game, is extremely expensive. And you can buy other units that do similar things, like even units like Poxwalkers, that are a lot less money to buy. And also, of course, I know most people enjoy painting their models. However, I know there are some people that just play for competitive. Now, I personally wouldn't advise it. It's really fun to build and paint models. However, if you do just play for competitive, and you want to just build the biggest army, then it is cheaper to get second-hand models. In addition, if you want to buy terrain, Games Workshop is extremely expensive, and there are plenty of like if I go to like terrain, it's very expensive. Like, you're not even getting that much stuff. Like, for example, the launching pad is a very typical terrain piece. It's really small, and you're paying £35. And there are two ways of doing this. Third-party terrain can be half, if not lower the price, and be also more interesting. And what I personally recommend, and what is really fun, is to make your own terrain. I know a friend that spent quite a while making their own battlefield, and it is a really fun project to undergo if you have lots of time, particularly with all the COVID restrictions. If you're in lockdown wherever you live, then it is probably something that it is a really fun use of your time. However, of course, not everybody has the time for this, but if you do, I would look up some YouTube tutorials on how to make your own terrain. It is a really, really fun thing to do. Now, in addition to, another tactic to buy Warhammer quite cheaply is to, of course, get box sets. Now, Death Guard at the moment do not have any box sets out, though I did do a video talking about why they are probably going to get a new box set and what will be in it with the new Codex, which will be in the top right corner right now. You can go and watch it if you want to. However, if you do look, for other armies, there are plenty of start collecting boxes if you are playing a different army, which is good value. However, for Death Guard, what you can get is, in last edition, there were No Fear, Dark Imperium, First Strike, 3 starter sets. Mainly No Fear and Dark Imperium were extremely good value. So what you can do is buy them from a third-party retailer. I found No Fear on eBay, and the thing is with No Fear box set is just the Death Guard minis alone have a value of almost £80, which is it's really good for a £50 box set. So even if you are paying more than the original value of £50, it is still likely worth the price. And in addition, you can find these minis for quite cheap individually on eBay. This is how I actually was able to build my army to quite a big level without spending too much money. I did this, I think I got like 50 Poxwalkers, 3 Fated Bloke Drones, Malignant Playcaster, Notch Blightbringer, and a couple of Lords of Contagions, all by doing this. And it made up a big part of my army, and it was extremely cheap. And although it has got more expensive because they've stopped Dark Imperium and No Fear, you can still get them quite cheaply. For example, with Poxwalkers, you can get 10 Poxwalkers for about £11, which is much cheaper than the current rate of 6 Poxwalkers for about £10. So it is extremely good value. And likewise with the Fated Bloat Drone, it's also very cheap, £10, well, about £15 for a demon engine that would usually cost £30. And in addition, if you want, you can also buy some Lord of Contagion for quite a cheap value. Same with the Malignant Playcaster. It's a little more expensive for this one, and the Noxious Blightbringer, all of which at the moment you can't get from any Games Workshop kits. So it is very important to make sure that these are in your that you buy them, because they are of quite good value, particularly Nox Blightbringer, which there is no other way of buying, and is quite good, like with the Malignant Playcaster. So that is about it for today's video. I do hope you found these quite useful. Of course, I do have another video on how to start collecting with Warhammer 40,000, which is in the top right corner right now. You can apply this and that video together to get quite a cheap, very good army. So I do enjoyed this video. Make sure to like and subscribe and turn on notifications. I'm going to be putting out videos as soon as there's any more news on the new Death Guard Codex. So you hope you did enjoy. Make sure to like and subscribe. But for now,